this is what progress looks like. So right here we have a 6x6 pressure treated timber used for fence posts. So we're gonna make mini farmer's carries out of this. I'm gonna strip it in half as it's 40 inches long. Usually a farmer's carry would be anywhere from 48 to 4 foot long. So this is gonna be mini ones, so we're gonna strip it in half. I gotta go out around it because this sawzall only cuts about a quarter of the way through, so I have to roll it around and cut through it. Yeah. So we're not wearing any gloves, eye protection, ear protection, nothing, because that's for sissies. So. Alright, so we have both of our pieces cut. Order of operations would probably be metalwork, then wood finishing, and then fastening, and then finishing post fastening. So we're gonna get this all measured up for plates, handles, and plate holders, and come back to you after we get that done. Alright. Both of these plates are gonna hold the plate holder are 6 inches long in comparative to the timber. So. Like a big plate about 6 inches long like that, a big 2-inch pipe, cut at a 45, welded on, probably 6 inches long, sticking out like that. So I don't know if, because they're smaller and not as long, that whenever you throw them down, they're not gonna bing bing and like fold over. So we'll find out. I'm assuming this side is straight, so using this straight edge. So that's what it would look like. All of this would be plate, and you'd have the plate holder like this. All this would be plate holder like that, and all this would be plate. And so you'd have just two like slivers of wood showing, and you'd have a handle like that. So I guess. Oh, and we could throw the rope right here. Yeah, that works. Handle cross section. So from tip to tip on 45 cuts. Actually, you know what? Bring it in close. Bring it in. Grab this up. Stop.
Happy little trees.
Huh?
Happy little trees.
Happy little trees. All right. So the way this is gonna work, let me show y'all. So we got two of these bad boys. Right? And so we have a plate right here, here, plate holder, 2 inches of gap for the rope, and this handle. This handle's gonna be made out of 2-inch tube, just as the plate holders are. So this handle, for at least my hand, has to be 5 inches wide from on the 45 to make the actual tubing. Has to be 5 inches from the low spot to the high spot. So I don't know what the difference is. I need to do the math on that, but that extra length is how long the handle needs to be. So
I understand math isn't your strong suit. That was.
Most right here will come in later. Actually, we won't even need to. Whatever. I really don't like how this whole cut is. Yeah, you see that? Let's put this plate. You can see it's bowed if you look right here. It's bowed. And so I think that'll be fine, because when we sink these bolts in here, actually, I say bolts, they're actually gonna be screws. When we sink these screws in here, I think it'll suck it down enough, or it doesn't bother it. So we'll see, but I'm gonna use this plate to make the base plates for the handles and the plate holders on the timbers. So hopefully I have enough. So a little tip instead of cutting out, because all these plates right here, these top 4 plates, need to be 5.5 by 5.5 inches. And so what we'll do is take a strip, 5.5. We can't measure it square, we have to measure each end, because I don't think this cut is square. And so 5.5 times 4, Cole, what's that?
Hot dog.
Get off of that, you'll mess my chalk line up. Okay, we'll just do it after I get this strip cut. That would take a while, so jump cut. Oh, well, hello there. You missed all the fun. Come on in. Come on. Come on in. Come back down. You've been getting busy while you were gone. Come look. So we got the timbers cut. Y'all saw that, I think. We got one sanded so far, make it look nice and pretty. Come on, get close on that. Smooth. Ooh. So this pressure treated timbers, I'm pretty sure they got some sort of chemical in here, because I sanded on it, and that green line is still there. So it'll come out in the finishing. So gotta do that one still. That's the right side. We got all of our plates cut, rounded off, faced off, ready for welding. These ones go like that, on the ends like that. We gotta fasten them still, that's alright. Still gotta figure out what fasteners we're gonna be using. Then we got our high tensile strength military grade chassis tubing that we're gonna be using for this little part in our project. Angled and cut. And we're gonna get to sanding and then hopefully do some welding. Got these plates, sanded off, all that rust that was on it, back to that mill scale, which still not good, but better than rusting. So, time to weld. Welding time! I am no certified welder, but that'll hold.
Would you like to talk about what you just made?
Scott, come here.
What?
I should have worn boots and jeans. Yeah, I know. How you doing? With the Power Movie Magic, I'm now wearing different clothes, and it's now the morning. So, what we have so far is we have our timber for the farmer carries sanded down. Not really to their final form yet, but getting there. We did a lot of welding yesterday evening. We made the handles for them, so I cut out the same plate. And I made those out of, and I took some tubing, welded them together. They're not very pretty, but they're strong. It's okay. I'll grind them down, make them look all pretty. We still have to drill holes in these plates and these plates with the weight rollers. So I'll probably drill 4 in each. We also went out, also got lag screws to screw this into the timbers. So we have to drill 4 holes in each of these posts. 4 or 6, I'm not sure yet, but we'll see. So we have that to do. Right now though, main focus is getting these cleaned up. Y'all can see these bird edges, and I don't want to touch it and cut myself, so when I'm using them. So we'll get the grinder, get the burrs off of that, and maybe paint. And we gotta drill screw holes for this also. And we have to drill some pilot holes in that, because I don't know how that wood's gonna react to such thick lag screws going in it. So that's what we have going on. So right now I'm gonna try to see if I sink this lag screw in here, if it's going to split this wood down the grain. So I'm just trying to figure, it's the same wood. I'm trying to figure out if I can have to drill pilot holes, or if I can get away with just screwing it in. So we'll find that. So we got our holes drilled for the handles and these plate holders. I'm gonna start painting. I found this blue in our paint box, so I think that'll probably be a cool color. I kind of tested it out on this first pipe here, and I think it's not too bright, not too dark. Can't really see on camera, but it's a pretty sweet color. So I'll get these painted. What's the dry time and the working time on this? Always read your paints anytime you're doing anything with any kind of stuff, so you know how long to let it dry. And for coats, it takes like compounding days on some paints or lacquers or whatever. So make sure you just read the directions, is what I'm saying. This one says dries to touch in 20 minutes. So we'll let it sit for the 30 minutes, and then we'll screw it into the timbers and let it sit for a while, whatever it says in the can, and then use it. So we're gonna get to painting. I'm not really super worried about this overspray hitting anything, because we got a lot of wind going around in here, and so it should dissipate just fine. I got this rag covering up our vise, but it's been painted over and painted over, so ain't a huge deal. Alright.
Someone's dry. Someone's dry.
And it looks like it is. This is a good color though. I like that a lot. Looks sprayed. I don't want to get. Notice I'm not super far in it. I'm not just. I'm trying to get good, even coats, and I really don't want to get that excess on there. I have to redo it. Plus it's protected from rusting. And it looks cool. So. Alright. Oh man. So we got these metal pieces painted up. They're not quite dry yet. Some of them are. They look pretty good, I think. We were going to do black at first, but we found blue in the cabinet, so I think it looks actually pretty good. When they all dry, they'll dry matte. These are still wet. But we'll give it probably 20-30 minutes because I'm impatient like that. Oh, I still got to finish this wood. We'll finish the wood while we're waiting for this to dry. And then by the time I'm done with that, take these, bolt them in. Bada bing, bada boom, Bob's your auntie, so that's all there is to it. Let's get to staining them. Timber stained we're gonna start drilling in these lag screws, and we're almost done. I just gotta make sure they're all lined up, and some of these I eyeballed on these pipe holders or the plate holders, so I'm gonna have to find the most even ones and see how it looks. I'm gonna get some washers also. Alrighty. Let's try to make this as pretty as possible. And as straight as possible. Alright, so we're done. We got it pretty much all put together. So we had the metal work doing, so we did the plate cutting. That's what all these were. Cut all these plates out, then we welded on this tube, this chassis tube. Weld them on together. Cut this timber, it's a 6x6. That was 48 inches long. And so cut it right in half. Took all the pieces, painted them, cleaned them off, bolted them in. It's a pretty simple project as long as you got a welder, an angle grinder, and a handsaw. You could do this project. You wouldn't even have to do this if you could buy actual tubing. It's welded to a plate already, or get somebody to do it for you, borrow neighbors, whatever. But it's not a hard thing to build. I mean, I'm gonna try them out and see how they work. And
hey guys, it's Luke. I'm really happy this turned out, but I got a couple gripes about these farmer carries. One is that they don't slide. I didn't make them to where those corners on the bottom rounded off, so when I hit the dirt, boom, they stick. So they don't slide. But I'll try to mitigate that by just putting it down whenever I'm using them. Also, that paint scratches you, so slide those paint plates over it. But what's cool about these are they got real fat grips because they got that 2-inch pipe on there, and they weigh almost 25 pounds, perfect each. Plus, they're pretty cheap, and they work for what I need them for. So.
Thank you for everyone who's watching. Please like and subscribe. And go to your local Whataburger, take a dump on the counter, and this will spread the good word of my channel.